I'm not gonna make a long story. So after I figured out that it's not that fucking easy, computer games, multiplayer gaming is not fucking easy. So first of all, let's begin. The ultimate guide on fixing various stability issues in online multiplayer shooters. Ultimate guide on fixing stability issues in online multiplayer
Hey, turn me up, my nigga.
shooters. Turn me up right now. Turn me up. Що є, що за? Ultimate guide on fixing stability issues in online multiplayer.
Hey, turn me up, my nigga.
Alright, so I'm gonna begin again. This is fun. So in this video you are going to see my ultimate guide on solving most of these stability issues in multiplayer online gaming. So what gives me information about it, what gives me balls to tell you something or to advise you something, is the fact that I've been playing Battlefield 5. Not much on PC, on a proper PC. Been playing Battlefield for like 1 year. Before that, on a laptop. So now we're gonna cover the PC version, and in this guide I'm gonna try to help you, try to share my information, how I solved my problems, how I solved my rubber banding, how I solved my ping instability, how I solved my latency, how I optimize my settings. I'm going to talk about fixes that are going to stabilize and optimize your internet as well as your Windows and your game settings to give you what you're looking for. Before we are going to cover the mysterious fixes that every fucking person is looking for, I'm going to talk about hardware. Now we are talking about competitive, real-time, fast-paced shooters. Now, firstly, of course, it's easy to understand that in order to maximize your results in online gaming, you need to have top hardware and best software. So we're going to begin our ultimate guide on fixing stability issues in online multiplayer shooters by saying that this is a fucking expensive hobby, boys and girls, but it's the best one. So Patience Steel Balls production, influenced by GANGSTER SQUAD. I'm Gangster and my squad is nearby. The ultimate guide. So, first of all, boys and girls, I'm gonna spend a few seconds to say that it is important to have a video card. It is important to have top video cards so you can get all those beautiful pictures flowing on time and refreshing. As well as that, you need to have top processor that will be able to process all those pictures that top video card is giving you. As well as that, you have to have top RAM operational memory that will transition the information from that top video card and to the top processor and back and forward, as well as that all that has to be on the top motherboard that will ensure the smoothness of the whole process. As well as that, you are going to need a SSD to put your Windows and your favorite game on. As you can see, I recently bought an SSD and put my Windows on it, and so far my other disk is turned off, unplugged. Now on this is my USB, big fucking USB. Now this is my Windows disk C is the SSD where I have Windows files, and place where I have Battlefield client. Now people who play Battlefield, people who play online games that require your computer to load a lot of information pre-match, you must put your game client into the SSD. Why? Because it will speed up. It will multiply by many fucking more times the speed with which the game will upload and download from your hard drive into the current reality. Okay, so as well as that, last few days I reinstalled my Windows probably like 7 times, and if I would not have this SSD it would take fucking half an hour, 1 hour. With SSD it took me like 5 minutes to reinstall Windows, 5 minutes to update, 20 minutes to 1 hour to download Battlefield 5, because it's not as simple as just copy from my terabyte into it. Okay, so as well as that, we're gonna come back to that long fucking everlasting expensive lists that you must have. You must have SSD that will also plays major role. It plays a major role in the speed at which all that shit is happening. So imagine you have all that. You have your top video card, you have your top processor, you have your top RAM, motherboard, SSD. Now what else you need to have? You need to have a top monitor. Now my monitor is 144 Hz, and this is first time in my life I ever met 144 Hz. Before I used to play on the laptop. I used to play Battlefield 4 and Hardline on a laptop with 30 to 40 FPS. And 144 Hz monitor means that now with my RTX 2080 and i7 7700K, I get 144 FPS in Battlefield. Now, what do you need to achieve this? You not only need your hardware, you also need top internet. And now, before we're gonna cover the fixes, few more little points. What is on my to-do list is a fiber optic router that uses light as data transition, that will ensure that your ping is fucking aced. Okay, so this is my next to-do list, and just to sum up, I'm going to turn on the game. I want you to see what I see. I want you to see the numbers and seize the numbers. I want you to look at them with me. Okay, so this is Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5, ladies and gentlemen, I present you Battlefield 5, the ultimate war simulator, the alpha, the alpha fucking shooter, the alpha game. That, to be honest with you, I used to play all the story mode and all the other multiplayer online games, but after I found this motherfucker, I don't need anything else. Alright, so boys and girls.
Attrition.
I'm presenting to you the ultimate guide on stabilizing your online gameplay. Now I'm a player of Battlefield. Now Battlefield is the game of my choice, and this is the game that tested my balls on Titan in them. This is the game that tested my patience and my wallet. Most expensive hobby it is. So, before we begin our mysterious fixes, I want to say that your hardware, of course, plays important role. Your hardware plays very important role. In fact, if your hardware is shit, you can't be playing. I've been playing on the laptop. It's not gonna happen. So, in order to have a stable experience, in order to be able to annihilate the enemy, of course, the first thing is a must, and it's your hardware. You have to have a top-notch hardware. Now, it's not only about video card. It's not only about video card. It's not only about video card. Now, if you have a top-notch video card, you must have top-notch processor that will be able to process that video card. If you have top processor and the top video card, you need to have RAM to be able to transit information between them, which is also not cheap. If you have all that free coverage, you need to have motherboard, because if you have all fucking motherboard, it's gonna be too slow for your system or something like that. I don't know yet. I'm not a pro in that shit. I'm just casual player in Battlefield that tries to get better. After you have your motherboard, you must have SSD. Now, having SSD allows your game to load, boot faster. Your system will boot fast. Your Windows will install faster. For example, for the last few days, I reinstalled my Windows like 7 times or something, and if I wouldn't have SSD, it would have been fucked up. More fucked up. Okay, so SSD is very important, and I say that SSD is a must. Okay, now why increases the speed as well as all the other shit. It enhances your speed of loading screens, systems and shit like that. Okay, so now we talked about hardware, we forgot to mention one more fucking thing, and this thing is called the monitor. Now you need to have a monitor with the highest possible refresh rate, which will allow your whole top-notch rig to be able to display max possible frame rate. My current is 144 Hz, 144 frames per second. Now I'm going to turn the fucking twerk shit. Now this is a network graph. Now this is the perf overlay draw FPS1. Now for me to achieve this, it took a lot of effort. Okay, so while I'm doing this guide, I'm gonna just show you some gameplay. I'm not the best player, I'm just gonna talk. Okay, so why do you need highest refresh rates? So you can see more information. Now why do you need the resolution? Why do you need why do you need resolution? Now you need to have top resolution to be able to see more tiny details on the screen of yours. Man, this plane got fucked. Okay, so there are many things that you need to firstly buy to be able to optimize it. Okay, so now since we covered the hardware aspects, we are going to talk about the internet. We forgot to mention the internet. I also left it for last. This was my last front line of understanding. Now internet is responsible for most of the lags, bags, shitters and shatters, because boys and girls internet is the factor that transits all that information that your hardware and software produces. Without internet, it is of course logically, if the internet is shit, then your whole fucking experience is going to be, yes, shit. And with my personal fixing illness, let's call it fixing illness, the mysterious fixes and other shit like that. Now it was my last front line. I haven't thought that this is so fucking important. Okay, and it wasn't really hard. It was, I say, it was possible. It was possible to fix that, and I'm gonna share with you methods that I used to stabilize my internet. So before, we have to mention that right now it is important to add that I don't know if placebo it is or no, but I'm telling you what helped me. Okay, so let's go. Right now I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on the OBS, and as far as I am aware, the quality is decent. Okay, hope you can see them. Yeah, so quality is decent, 1080p, 60 FPS. Alright, the first stages I could not play it. After I applied a couple of those fixes, I reduced my ping or latency to 38. Now I did a lot of things for it. So first of all, I'm gonna tell you this very important thing. Now, if you have any issues with your performance that happened recently, or something that you didn't have before, or it became worse and worse, now the first thing, the fix number one that you must have is to format and reinstall Windows. Now I highly recommend you to reinstall Windows, because simply after formatting the old Windows, deleting all those old junk, and after installing the fresh system without any of those fucking viruses, without any of that programming, you are going to see the boost in the performance simply after installing Windows. So again, let's go. Tip number one, or fix number one, is fresh install the Windows. It will by itself solve a lot of issues. Okay, so let's say you decided not to, or done this stage. The second thing I advise you to do is to update. Now first of all, if you have GeForce Experience, you simply click on the right click that tray, drivers, check for updates. You check for your graphics card updates. Number two, you check for Windows updates. Okay, now after your system is up to date, after your game is up to date, if you still encounter this issue, let's move forward. Now I had internet paying for 100 megabytes per second or mbps per second, yeah, but I used to get like 2 megabytes per second download speed or something, and it was like fucking fluctuating and jumping. Now I realized that firstly I had to do something with my network adapter. Okay, so I'm gonna type network, internet, and share. What the fuck is this category? Okay, so network, internet, no, network and sharing center, change adapter settings, properties, and this is not it. This is not it, boys and girls. Now we have here, what do we need is we need device manager. We need device manager. In device manager you are clicking on network adapter, update driver. Okay, now after you update that driver, it will turn off and then turn it on, but usually it will find some date. After that, what you have to do is to allow the computer turn off this device to save power. Switch this shit off. So power management, untake this. Next thing, we're going to go into advanced settings. Now this is fucking complicated, all this shit, but I found that what takes off the limit the fucked up limit I used to have is, first of all, that shutdown link speed should be 100 Mbps, and the speed and duplex also 100 Mbps full duplex. Okay, so manually, by default they are on auto negotiation, but I found that if I change this, it will improve something, you know. So first of all, you do that speed duplex, and now you have to put the number related to what you're having. Okay, and then shutdown link speed. Okay, so click OK, wait for the internet to turn on, to the adapter to turn on, and proceed to the next stage. Now the next stage, some say that it's placebo, some say it's not, but for me it gave me a lot of hope. Now turn me up. This software is called PCP Optimizer. Okay, now TCP Optimizer, I'm going to go for the, now we talked about fiber. Okay, now TCP Optimizer. Now TCP Optimizer is going to optimize your internet settings to stabilize it and tweak and change various adapter settings as well as registry settings that will lead to a better, more stable gameplay, lower latency, lesser ping, and less smell of shitter through shutter. Okay, so speedguide.net. Alright, so I assume this would be the link. Now I'm gonna go back to this source, and I'm going to put it in the end after Russians, and I'm gonna say that this is going to be the first essential program is TCP Optimizer. Now this program came from Battlefield 3, I think, or 2, I don't know. People have been using this for decades. Okay, so how to use it? First of all, when you have it on your desktop, run it as administrator. Okay, now you're gonna open this program. Now in this program, the first thing you have to do is to set the connection speed, and it has to be related to the number of megabytes per second that you are paying for. Or if you don't know how much is that, you go on the website called speed test, no, speed test, and you check your upload download speed and set it accordingly. Now this is not the website. Now is this the website? Yes, this is the website. So ideally what you have to do, I just put mine to 100 Mbps. Now But basically what you do is that you put this number download value into it if you're not sure. Now this is ping 3, this is server, this is just a speed test on a server in a fucking Ukraine, right across the road. I need a server in Germany, and that is harder, eh? Okay, so in TCP optimizer, set this shit. Next, modify all network adapters, click on it now, and just click optimal. Now as you can see, it will change a lot of information. It will change a lot of data towards your PC, which will make your PC suitable for a faster operation and internet utilization. Okay, so after you click optimal, you click apply. It will also apply a lot of things in here, in this. Like it will also influence your network throttling index, which is responsible for the stability of the system, and all the other shit. By boys and girls, I don't know what the fuck is all that shit, but I do it optimal. It helped me. Okay. Next, apply changes. Next, exit. Now it will ask you if you want to reboot. I say you reboot later. Now another thing, I found another little program. Now this information I found from the Russian streamer, and it is called LFix. Now LFix is a little latency fix program. Now I'm using it on your own risk. I used everything in together, and probably because of this I'll have to reinstall Windows again tomorrow, but so far it's fucking honey. So far the gameplay is smooth as fuck. Okay, so the latency fix is here. Now I'm not sure how the fuck I'm going to give it to you, so I'm gonna give you the link of that Russian dude that gave it to me. Now he probably made it himself since he's kind of a hacker. And what you have to do here, you have to turn off ad block, copy the link, LFix link, pause ad block, and then refresh the page. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put this link into the stream, and I'm gonna call it, what I'm gonna call it, I'm gonna call it LFix, latency fix, which is, this is link. Okay, so remember, pass the link and disable ad block and wait for it on the page. Don't close the page, just wait, leave the page like that and let it download. After it will download, all you have to do is latency fix LFix. You just right click on it, run as administrator, launch it, and then over here just click install and close it. That's it. I don't know what the fuck it does, but I believe that it helps, or it is another placebo. It's up to you. I'm just telling you how I made my shit good. Okay, alright, so since we're done with that, now the other important thing that you have to do is to tweak your registry. Now I think that this shit is changed with the TCP optimizer, but in case we are going to check it, so we're gonna click Windows key, registry edit, and we are going to simply copy this, and we are going to paste this. Okay, now over here we are going to have to do something. Over here we are going to create the word value. Now I have to watch again to remind myself what the fuck you need to do. So you have to wait a second, okay?
реестра
So the
и
first
жми
link you're
Enter.
gonna pass, the first link you're gonna pass, that's the one. You are going
В открывшемся пункте тебе надо пройтись по всем
you are going to
00001 и так далее. И, соответственно, определить свой активный сетевой адаптер.
Okay, so in this list, after you copy past the link, you're gonna see numbers 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. You list through them until you find your adapter. Now mine adapter is net Realtek. Hmm. Okay, so what do you have?
Просто проходишься по каждому этому пункту, по этой подпапке, и определяешь адаптер по ключу драйвер.
Alright, so my adapter is going to be set in here, as I understand. So that's how we're gonna look and find it. So nothing 3, nothing 4, nothing 5, nothing 6, nothing 7, nothing 8, nothing 9, nothing. I think is the first one, since this one has the fucking most of that shit. Okay, so I assume that this is the one that we are looking for. Realtek, yes. Okay, so what we're gonna do next?
Desk. То есть видишь, что в моем случае он находится под номером 0002. Там ключ драйвер Desk содержит значение Killer и 2200 гигабит Ethernet контроллер. То есть это мой активный сетевой адаптер, по которому у меня, соответственно, работает интернет. В этой же папке, когда ты определишь уже, под каким номером находится твой сетевой адаптер, тебе нужен ключ NetCFG Instance ID. Тебе нужно его запомнить его значение, ну или, по крайней мере, куда-то записать, или просто запомнить первые 3-4.
Секундочку. Значит, мой адаптер называется Realtek. Мы здесь в этом, скопировав первую ссылочку, скопировав. Ого, и где же, блядь, эти вот? Where the fuck are those lines? Okay, what I'm gonna do? Okay, reg edit. Now the first one is HK local machine. Okay, after you found a auto folders numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the one that has your name Realtek in the data. In this folder you have to change something else. Now what you have to change is Russian guy is going to tell
4
us.
символа. Этого хватит. Потом но по стандарту там и так всё. В открывшемся окне в поиске вбиваешь GPU шаблон, впиши, связанный с небольшим. И, наконец, в нужный нам подпункт планировщик пакетов COS. Справа ты увидишь, и после в появившемся окне событий пускаешь соответствующий инструмент. Конфигурация на 20% и 2200 гигабит Ethernet контроллер. То есть это мой активный сетевой адаптер, по которому у меня, соответственно, работает интернет. В этой же папке, когда ты определишь уже, под каким номером находится твой сетевой адаптер, тебе нужен ключ netcfg instance ID. Тебе нужно его запомнить.
We need netcfg instance ELD. Okay.
Запомнить его значение. Ну или
We are going to take it and we are going to try to remember this number. Now you don't have to remember this shit, but in case we're gonna copy, but just look at a C8C, okay?
По крайней мере, куда-то записать или просто запомнить первые 3-4 символа. Этого хватит. Потом из нашего текстового файла снова копируешь ключ, вот только уже второй. И все.
Okay, so C8C. Значит, next thing that we are going to do, we are going to copy the second key provided by the Russian guy, and we're gonna copy it into the registry. And here we're gonna pick which one, C8C, that's the one, C8C. We just remembered a couple of the first three. Okay, here it is.
Все так же вставляешь его в адресную строку редактора реестра. Определить нужную подпапку я смог части этого окна. После ты только что записал или запомнил. У меня оно начиналось с символов 3AA31 или что-то такое. Так что определить нужную подпапку я смог моментально. Дальше в этой самой подпапке с нужным нам именем надо создать новый ключ.
Okay, so we're gonna create a new key. New. Not this. Now we're gonna click on that folder. New. The word value.
Если же он уже у тебя есть, то просто изменить его значение. Но у меня ключа сейчас нет, поэтому я его создам. Жмем правую кнопку мыши на свободное место с правой части этого окна и выбираем пункт «Создать», затем параметр dword. В качестве названия ключа вписываем TCP ACK Frequency. После того, как он создан, жмем на него дважды левой кнопкой
is write TCP ACK frequency, okay?
Мыши и редактируем текущее значение. Что бы там ни было написано, просто меняешь это на цифру 1. Потом жмешь ОК, и на этом четвертый шаг подходит к концу. Дальше будет вообще легко. Теперь первый ключ. Все так же.
Next key that we're gonna need is HK local machines. Okay, come back to the registry, paste it,
вставляем его в адресную строку редактора реестра и все так же жмем Enter. В открывшейся ветке точно так же, как и в прошлый раз, надо создать или изменить ключ, если он уже есть. Вот только в этот раз названием ключа будет TCP No Delay. Для удобства все эти названия я также оставил в нашем текстовом документе. И значение этого ключа также надо поменять на циферку 1. Вроде ничего сложного. Если так, то продолжим. Шаг 6. И
TCP no delay. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay. Okay, I'm not sure if it's correct with caps on and caps off. TCP no delay, enter, change to 1.
Последний. Опять из нашего текстового файла берем
Next.
очередной ключ, вот только уже из секции шаг 6. Все так же открываем его в редакторе реестра.
Last key
И точно так же меняем
is
значение нужного ключа.
Copy into the register. Network throttling index FFFFFFF. Okay, so we put the value into FFFF. Okay. Okay, now I'm doing this in case, but usually the TCP optimizer does most of it. Okay, so now we are going to
В этот раз это ключ Network Throttling.
close our fucking keys. Okay, interface. Now we need to make sure. Okay, we forgot one. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna quickly paste this shit. I'm gonna put it into here. Now this shit, I'm gonna copy it into here. And finally, last piece is this. We're gonna copy it here. Okay, now we are going to close TCP optimizer. We're going to close the keys. We're going to close the L-fix that you already have. Now the one thing that we didn't do, as the Russian guy said, was the COS.
Вставляй его в адресную
So
QoS шаблоны.
Now this is
Третий шаг,
edit,
который
so
тебе нужно.
we close the registry. Okay. Now we're gonna open group policy. Group policy, is it? Policy? Nope. Okay. Okay, never mind. We're gonna follow.
Нужно сделать, заставить винду использовать интернет по полной, потому что само собой этого не значит. Так что операция компьютера.
Max. So what we have to do here is fuck. Okay. Local. What the fuck is
Слева
this?
переходишь в пункт .msc и запускаешь соответствующий инструмент. В открывшемся окне слева переходишь в пункт «Конфигурация компьютера», затем «Административные шаблоны». Затем
Windows key, run, G, no. Okay, so
важно. Дальше тоже легкотня. Тебе понадобится программа LFix, которая нужна обязательно твой пинг заметно снизит. Для открывшемся окне слева. В открывшемся окне
gp edit .ms. .msc. I'm not sure why it does not open before. It was better.
В списке вбиваешь gpedit.msc и запускаешь
gpedit.msc. Okay, so in case we are going to do the lfix, because this step is after the lfix step, so I'm gonna latency fix, open latency fixed, lfix, and we have it here. Okay, alright, so local policy. No, I'm interested where to find it, but we are a bit lost here, so we're gonna have to pause for a second. And policy gp edit.
Пускаешь соответствующий инструмент.
So what is this? Редактор локальной групповой политики. Local group policy. Local group policy. Okay, we're gonna leave this fucking QoS for later. I'm sure they changed as well. Now, the next stage, what we're going to do is also what Russian guys just advises us is to download CFOS speed. Now, CFOS is a German adapter, CFOS software. Now, CFOS software is Internet Accelerator Ping Optimizer. Now, you only have 30 days trial, so use it, see how it goes. And now we're going to download it. Okay, download CFOS speed. I'm gonna put the website into the description. I'm gonna put the link into the description. And what I'm gonna do is, I already have it downloaded, but since I am going to introduce it to you, it's not really difficult. You just have to put the drivers to optimize the connection. Extracting files, British English, okay, I agree, okay, send anonymous, give it to them for free, fuck it, since it's free anyway. So CFOS speed installation wizard. Okay, so after the installation wizard is installed, we are going to seize the crop, the thing itself. Okay, now finish. Now you're gonna have windows like that. Now right click on it and click try for 30 days, and then current connection. Now we can see what we have here. Okay, now later as the connection increase, we can do what? We can actually we can see all those ports and IP addresses that our computer uses. Okay, and I'm sure this is very important for the battlefield as well, as it requires ports to operate efficiently. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna right click on it and then options, settings. Okay, now what can we do in settings? Ping jitter, net talk. Now let's listen to the Russian guy and see what he is going to tell us what to do.
В открывшемся окне вообще процесс программу. Потом в открывшемся окне шаришь, что я рекомендую это сделать. Там все очень-очень понятно. Но вообще достаточно проскроллить чуть ниже на
Minimal ping. Okay, so firstly tick on where the fuck is that CFOS? Okay, options, settings, minimize ping times at the expense of slightly reduced bandwidth, expense of slightly higher ping times. Okay, so turn this shit on. Next.
На открывшемся окне и в пункте «Минимальный пинг» поставить галочку, чтобы, соответственно, перевести программу в режим оптимизации пинга, что, по идее, должно его заметно снизить. А в разделах «Протоколы» и «Программы» слева может... А в разделе пинга, что «Минимальный пинг» поставить галочку, чтобы, соответственно, перевести программу в режим оптимизации пинга, что, по идее, должно его заметно снизить. А в разделах «Протоколы» и «Программы» слева...
In the protocol file sharing, you can find game that you have. Okay, but I don't have Battlefield 5 on it, so...
должно его заметно снизить. А в разделах «Протоколы» и «Программы» слева можно проставить, соответственно, приоритеты по своему вкусу для...
Okay, so here, if we click on programs, we can find our game here. Now we can try to find our game here. For example, mine is Battlefield 5. There's no Battlefield 5 as I can see. So what we can set to high priority things here. So what I'm gonna put it on the high priority is Origin, EA Origin server. And what else do we have here? We have something else related to Origin, yeah? Okay, I assume you just can find your game here, okay? And I'm going to try to add Battlefield to it. All programs. Can I add Battlefield here? No. Use direct edit service. Okay, so what we can do the same shit with the Origin. I'm sure we can either add Origin into the high priority, or we can pick the one that you have. Okay, now we're gonna move to next. Now in the traffic analysis, I'm gonna put ticks on media streaming and games because I'm streaming and playing, and that would be pretty much it. Now you can have a look what you like and set it accordingly. Okay. Now we're gonna close C4 speed, and I think after this you have to restart your computer, restart your router, and you should see the improvement. Now another completely different thing that is also important is something that is called port forwarding. And now port forwarding is setting in your router settings. So you go into your router settings. Now you just like click IP address if you don't know your local IP address. Now this is my local IP address, but I'm not gonna use this one. I'm gonna use this one, and it's gonna open my router. I'm gonna log into it. After that, I am going to found something that is called forwarding, port mapping. Okay, now I'm not sure how it works. I'm not sure if I've done it correctly or not, but the way it works that you go to EA ports and then opening ports and connection issues, and what you have to do is you have a ports you need to know: 443 UDP TCP. Okay, now I'm not sure if this is correct. Now for you, I'm gonna just quickly delete this and this. So I'm going to make a new port mapping, Battlefield 5, mapping name, application. Okay, now add port application. Now I'm gonna delete this you're not gonna have it, and you're not gonna have that. And we're gonna make a application. Okay, now add port mapping. Okay, so here we're gonna say add port application. Now we're gonna make it TCP UDP, both, to make less, to give yourselves less headache, and write down 80 40 443 80 80. Okay, so we're gonna make it like so, and this like so, and B1 we are going to call a B1 basic ports you need to know. Okay, ports you need to know is 443 443 443. Okay, next is going to be 80 80 80. Next is going to be 80 80 80 80 80 80 80 80. Okay, try to save. Now it cannot save probably because of either 80 or 80 80, so I'm gonna delete the 80 and try to save. Okay, so I'm gonna make 80 80 80 again, and I'm gonna delete the 80 80 and try to save. Fantastic. Now I'm gonna continue editing it, and I'm gonna add next information. Now since we chose TCP UDP, we're just gonna click 5222 5222 5222. Next 9988 9988 9988. Next 17500 17500 17500 Next is, I assume you don't have to do it one by one, all 100 of them, maybe. So we're gonna put 20,000 here, 20,100, 20,000 here, 20,100. New 22990 22990 22990 2290 2290 Let's try again. 22990, 22990, 22990. Okay, now since this one ain't working, we're just gonna click to the next one and write down 42127, 42127, 42127, and click save. Now it's probably not gonna let us save because of this, so we're gonna delete this one and click save. Now continue editing it. We are going to continue editing it. And now we're gonna write UDP. So 3659, 3659, 3659, 3659. Next 14, 14, 16, 14, 14, 16. Next 22990, 23006, 22990, 23006. Okay, so this will replace the previous one since it's both of them. And now the last one is 25200, 25300, 25 up, 252. Okay, now we're gonna click save. Now what the fuck is this? Now we are going to cancel edit. We're going to delete this one since we already have both TCP UDP together. Okay, alright, now we're gonna save this one, BF1. Oh shit. Alright, so back to find forwarding. Now port mapping, new port forwarding, Battlefield 5 BF, my computer, save. Okay, now I'm not sure about port trigger, but port trigger is pretty much the same shit. You copy the same information, add port trigger application, add port mapping application, post TCP UDP, name, values, all of it, make it together, make it smooth. Okay, I think that would be it. Now another fix that might help you is to disable your fucking router. Now somewhere in the router settings you can disable the Wi-Fi output signal, and you might want to do that as well as some other sources advise that you also can. I don't know what the fuck is all that shit. I don't know what the fuck. This this is transmission mode. Now transmission frequency. Now maybe one of them is going to be busy. Let's see. Okay, so enable WMM QoS. QoS must be enabled. Now I don't know what has any of that stuff, so we just leave it as it is. Okay, Now transition mode. Okay, so we're gonna leave it, but the only thing you can do here other than that is network security, DMZ. Now you can enable DMZ and turn off the firewall to get a straight connection. But as well as that, you do have to change your IP somehow. I'll have to get back to this shit. Okay, now firewall. Hmm. I'm not sure about any of that. So if you guys have any advice for me on about this, I'm gonna happily listen to it. Okay. So now we're going to close it. Restart router. Restart system. And if that shit is, I'm sure a lot of shit of what we just did is going to improve your ping. Now it might not show you different number, but it will reduce your latency. Okay, now we're gonna go to we're gonna talk about a game play settings that also increase your latency. But as well as that, I think we covered everything pretty much. So we're going to talk about kill ping or haste. Now as soon as I download this shit, it reduces my ping twice. Now after all this what I just told you, my ping reduced, the ping number didn't change, but I could feel the effect was better. Okay, I could feel that my Ethernet is stable. Okay, and I actually felt a lot of useful shit. Now the other thing is to try a software that will optimize the route for you, and you could also find out some information about DNS server and stuff like that. I heard this helps a lot, and I'm not sure how it works, but pretty much they say it helps. Now my internet now is more or less stable. All the system is stable. Now I'm gonna close this shit and I'm gonna close this. What I'm gonna do now, exit. I'm going to talk about fix in game that will allow your game to run stable. Now first of all, as I showed you, the settings that I use are following. So in my video, full screen enabled, monitor maximum rate, field of view half. Now blur is on 1%. Silky Pilot said something about the clarity of vision, and actually works out well with motion blur to 1. Everything is kind of easier to something changes, you know. I think the loading of these menu gets better. So if I get 47, we're gonna see the crew like this. But if I'm going to Silky also tweaked something in the game parameters, so I'm not sure. I'm gonna click it to set it to 1%. Now this is all off. I'm not sure about this. I'm still thinking about it. Now in advanced settings, the X12 enabled. Now if your video card can actually support the X12, it is highly recommend to use it. Now it actually improved my lag, but sometimes when you turn it on or off, it actually fucks your system. So if you turn on the X12 DX12, you turn it on. Now DXR is usually also turned on, so I don't want that shit on. DXR enable. Now to disable DXR, you have to turn on DX12, and then you can turn DX12 back off if you don't like it. But I keep my off. Remember that you have to restart your computer with that, and if that doesn't solve the lag problem and stability with DX12, you have to delete the cache of the maps, I assume, because that cache would have the X11 in it, and you are going to run the X12, so of course it's going to shutter. Okay. So frame limiter set to 144. Now this increase your latency, this increase your latency, so I'm gonna turn this shit off. I'm gonna GPU restriction off, all graphic settings on low. Okay, so this is going to be my settings, and now it's important to add now, because of the NVIDIA control panel. Now in NVIDIA control panel, my preference is on quality, which will make my picture look good. It's on quality, so I don't really need anything else. Ideally, for better performance, I must I must use a balance or performance. Now about configure surround size X, of course, is my video card RTX 2080. Now, however, in our 3D settings, power management is on optimal power, because if I put on high power, when I turn the game on, RTX 20 bug, the video card fans start to spin, on max black screen. Okay, so that's what's gonna happen if I'm gonna tweak bad video output. Now the video output is low because I do have to fucking restart that shit. Okay, so that's why I really tried not to play with it. Now I'll leave this shit like this. Then so far my system is good, but if I will decide to do some further tweaks, I'll probably gonna do performance, enable performance, and in here none of that except maybe triple buffering, not sure, maybe vsync, fast vsync, and I'm not gonna touch OpenGL rendering GPU and power management, because that usually changes that stuff. Another sexy settings I want to show you is in NVIDIA control panel on adjust desktop color settings. Now here it is application control, whatever the fuck it is. Now this is not for what is important, is digital vibrance. Now this is a manual digital vibrance. Okay, now I'm gonna show you manual digital vibrance. Now this manual digital vibrance is as follows. Okay, so you didn't have time to enjoy. I'm just gonna show you on this spaceman. Now this is on max. This is on 75. I keep it on 75 unless the map is very colorful. If the map is very colorful, I keep it on 70. Okay, okay, that's it. That would be it. Now